Good evening, everyone. I want to start by asking y'all a question. When you watch football, what's one thing that gets everybody excited? Most people say probably the big hits, great catches, juke moves, breaking people's ankles, same thing as juke moves. Cause I know I do too, and I play football. But after playing football for years, I realized the same thing can be said about serious consequences that people don't talk about. Football has always been a big part of my life. Even though I grew up playing baseball, I started since I've been like middle school. I started playing football, and I've been playing ever since. It's taught me discipline, teamwork, and how to push through adversity. But it's also shown me that injuries are just a part of the game. Such as me, I've had three knee surgeries since my junior year in high school, and I've been still dealing with it to this day. It still bothers me like in my daily life. Some injuries can heal, but others can stay with you for the rest of your life, as I just said. But I'm here to talk to you about CTE and why that could be a long-term injury, long-term effect on somebody's life, and can make, as you'll see, some people who got CTE in WWE, NFL, and stuff like that have became crazy and then hurting somebody or themselves. You know, I believe CTE can be considered a monster in football because it could permanently affect the player's brain and change their life after football, as I just said. First, let's talk about what CTE actually is. CTE stands for chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I don't know how to say that word. I apologize. But it's a brain disease caused by repeated hits to the head. According to the Mayo Clinic, those hits can damage the brain over time. Even if every hit doesn't result in a concussion, the scary part is that many don't notice symptoms until years after they're done playing. That's pretty crazy. Like, you could think you're fine, and then over time you lose your sanity more and more. It's just crazy. When you're in a game, you're focused on making plays, helping your team win, and doing your job. You're not thinking about what those hits might do to you 20 years from now because you're living in the moment. A lot of people don't think about the future. They think about, if I do this and this, what can happen to me when I'm older? People think about living in the moment because, to be honest with you never know what can happen. You never know if you're going to make it 20 years. So a lot of people more live right now and don't think about what can happen in the future. That's another thing that can mess up your body, mess up your life, rest of your life after you get done playing sports. The second reason I think CTE is a serious issue is because it affects you more than just football. Some players have struggled with memory loss, depression, mood swings, and trouble making everyday decisions. According to research at Boston University CTE Center, repeated head impacts can increase the risk of CTE development. Hearing stories like that makes you think that every football player dreams about having a long career, but nobody wants to deal with those kind of problems after the game is over with because everybody's thinking about, I love football. Football's fun. And then people's influence can also make people's decisions too for you. Like, you watching NFL on a Sunday or college football on a Saturday. You think, them guys are so cool, I want to be like them. But you don't know what them guys go through outside the TV that you don't see. I play football. Football's a lie. Outside of just Saturdays. We're busy every day, working out all day. So it's just like, it's a lot of stressful. Along with your CTE, it could bring a lot of plate on people's shoulders. That's why mental health is a big thing also in football. Because it could be a lot of your plate that people can't handle at one time. And, just got to deal with it. What I'm saying is that, I said the wrong thing. Not that I'm saying football should stop being played. I love football, and I won't be here today without it. I won't be on my scholarship. I won't be here today. Football, gave me a scholarship. I didn't think I was gonna be able to play football after I had my knee surgeries and my knee injuries. It was a lot, It was a lot for me, A lot of depression times I had. So I appreciate football for still giving me a chance even after the injuries I had and stuff I've been through. But good thing is we're already seeing improvements like better helmets, safer tackling techniques, and stricter concussion protocols. I think those changes can make a difference. But players also have to be honest when something doesn't feel right instead of trying to play through injuries. Because I would say as a player, as an athlete, a lot of times that a player's not going to take themselves out. If they physically can, they're not going to. If they physically can play, they're going to play. They're not going to take themselves out. That's why the peers and coaches and stuff He's the one taking you out of the game because a player's not gonna want to not play. You feel me? We love football for a reason, and we're gonna do everything in our power to keep playing, even at the detrimental to our lives. You know, missing one game, but I would say missing one game is a lot better than risking the rest of your health. Because, like I said, my knee injuries, I came back too early because I wanted to play my senior year of high school, and I ended up re-tearing my knee all over again and made my injury way worse than what it was. Okay, have long-term effects on my knee, like a lot, bro. But to wrap everything up, I do believe CTE should be considered a monster in football because of the long-term effects it can happen after your lives, and the stuff that I've seen that of players, and not even just football but wrestling stuff too, that's in them doing crazy things to their families or doing just crazy stuff in general and messing up their whole lives or unaliving themselves. And you look at them a few 20 years prior, and you never see no signs of that. But over time, CTE, a big example would be Aaron Hernandez. He played for the Patriots, and getting CTE, and killing and unaliving somebody, and then unalived himself when he got convicted in prison. And he was a great player, awesome player. So it's like that, and then yeah. But I hope as the game continues to grow, we keep finding ways to make it safer so future athletes like myself can enjoy football without putting their long-term unnecessary health at risk. This is what I wanted to. This is my presentation. Like I said, I'm an athlete myself. I play football, so I figured CTE would be a good monster thing for me because I see what it could do. I see what it does to my peers and my fellow athletes, and it sucks, bro. Because like I said, you don't even know you have it until it's too late. Because a lot of times CTE, you don't even find out you had CTE or not until you passed away. So yeah, bro. But this is my why I think CTE is a monster in sports. And then thanks for listening.